it's Janelle and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my new little setup of my Sterling Ink N1 size, standard size planner. So I have been using this for a little while now and I've really been loving it. And recently I felt like I was missing a few things in here. So I've added some new elements to this planner. So I wanted to share that with you today to show you kind of what I've added and changed up in here. The first thing you could probably notice is the cover. I got a new Moterm cover for this in this beautiful lavender color. I had a white cover previously. I'm still going to use that cover. I'll probably interchange them as I feel like it. I was just so drawn to this lavender color and I thought it fit perfectly for the springtime. It just puts me in the spring vibes. I am in love with this cover. So anyway, let's get inside. I changed up my little charm. I have this little J charm for my name and I just clipped it onto one of the strings. I changed that up. So next, when you open the planner, I added just a couple little pieces of scrapbook paper just to kind of make it a little more spring feeling. These are just little scraps that I had lying around and I just kind of cut them down to fit in here. So I just have this one sticking out of this little pocket. I put one in this little pouch here just to make it look springy. That's all. I did add this little pouch here. I got it on Amazon. On one side, it has this zipper pouch section. I just have a few of my Dutch Bros stickers in here that I've gotten recently. And then on the other side of it has 3 business card holder slots. And then on the back side, it has this one long pouch. And as you can see, I added some papers to this side as well. I know this bug one is a little bit weird, but I actually really kind of like it. It's cute. I don't have a Hobby Lobby, a Joann's, or a Michael's like anywhere near me. So when I do get to make a special trip there, I kind of load up and buy a handful of papers to keep in my stash. When I was going through my stash, I did not have a lot of selection of like spring feeling papers. So I kind of had to work with what I got. And this one did feel springy to me, even though it's not like a typical cute aesthetic type of look. I still think it's really cute and just it's different. And it still reminds me of spring because all the bugs are about to start coming out. So these are really honestly the only 2 papers that I had that reminded me of spring in any way. So anyway, I added those in here just to make it feel a little bit different, but that is my new little pouch that I got in here. Next, I got a couple new booklets to add into my system. This first booklet here is the N1 monthly booklet from Sterling Ink. This is a tiny little booklet here, and it only has monthly spreads in here and some note pages. If you don't know, what I've been using in here is just this big blank notebook. I've been using it for like dailies and stuff. I didn't have monthlies in this system at all. All of my monthlies were in my Hobonichi cousin. But my cousin stays on my desk for the most part, and I've really been taking this planner with me everywhere. So I was finding times where I would need to like reference things and I didn't have a monthly spread in this system. I really wanted that in here. So I got this little monthly booklet. I'll go through it really quick. The front pages, if anyone's curious about these booklets. If you're familiar with Sterling Ink planners, they have all of these note pages in the front before you get into your planner. So this one, the monthly booklet, it does have all of the same front pages as all of their standard planners. You get the year at a glance page. You get the 2 blank pages for your vision board or whatever else you might want to use that for. You get the goal breakdown page. You get the yearly tracker, and you get all of the quarterly pages, all 4 quarters. And then you go into your monthly spreads. This one starts with December of 2024, and then it goes through until January of 2026. Then after that, you get 17 blank note pages. And that is this entire booklet. I barely started to decorate April. I haven't set anything up other than just putting this down for April. I'm gonna use this booklet as kind of like my overview. It's gonna have obviously my monthly spreads, but in these back note pages, I want to put in here like my lists and my collections that are like running for the whole year. Like for example, this year I am doing like a hiking log for the year. So I will put that in here. Also, I do like my car log, anything that happens with my car. I keep a log. So that is gonna go in here as well. Anything that's just kind of running throughout the whole year, and just any like general type of list that I want to keep. I don't want them getting lost in this notebook of all of my dailies and other random notes. Those type of lists are what's going to go into this booklet in the back, and 17 pages is plenty for that. And the next booklet that I got to add in here is a weekly booklet. And yes, I did get a vertical weekly. And if you know my lore, then you're gonna be like, girl, didn't you already try this like a couple of times already? And yes, I did. But when I was kind of thinking about everything, when I tried the vertical planner, I used the full size, full year planner, and it had like over 300 pages in the back. I was originally going to use those for journaling, but that didn't work out either. Once I realized that, then I was kind of like stumped on how I was going to use all of those note pages. I feel like the note pages in the back kind of tripped me up a little bit as well. Then I never really wanted to settle into the weekly spread if I wasn't going to do anything with the back pages. Kind of like a weird mind game for me. I know it doesn't make any sense. Okay, I know it doesn't make sense because these columns are still a little bit small for me as well. I feel like with this booklet, because it is so small, it really is no pressure. That's why I decided to get it and try it out. So when you order the weekly booklets from Sterling Ink, it actually comes in 2 booklets. So it's split up into the first 6 months and the last 6 months of the year. This is the first booklet. I'll go through the front pages really quickly because they are a little bit different. In the weekly books, you get the year at a glance pages. You get the 2 blank pages for your vision board. You get your yearly tracker, and that's it. You don't get the goal breakdown page, and you don't get the quarterly pages in these weekly booklets, which is fine by me. I don't need those pages in the front anyway. And you go straight into your weekly spreads, and you get the first 6 months in this booklet. There are only 2 blank note pages in the back. So really not a lot to work with note pages in the back. That's fine for me. I don't need them. That's why I really feel like this booklet here is no pressure at all. I can try out these weekly spreads, and if they don't work for me or I don't like them, I just take it off the string and take it out of my planner here, and it doesn't affect the rest of my system in any way. I really just felt like, what was the harm in trying this again? I do love to see my week at a glance like this so I can see what's coming up. I do really love the idea of having like my monthlies and my overview lists in one little booklet, my weeklies in another booklet. It just kind of makes this system feel a little bit more organized for me. Then I have my big notebook back here. I have shown this and flipped through this many times on my channel. I just draw out daily spreads. I write random lists in here, all sorts of things. So this planner is kind of chaotic because I just go page by page. I need a daily, I make a daily. I turn the page, I make a random list. I have random sticky notes. It's just kind of whatever I need it to be. Nothing is really organized in here. I have tried making weekly spreads in here. Here's another one. This is my current week. I made this before I got my weekly booklet in the mail, but I can do weekly spreads in this book as well. So if this little booklet doesn't work out for me and I have to take it out of here, I can just draw them in my big notebook. And that's no big deal either for me. I just liked the idea of having it all kind of organized and separated. We'll see. This little booklet here is an experiment. I've tried the vertical in this size before. It didn't work for me. But like I said, this one feels a lot more like no pressure, and I can take it out of my system. It won't affect the rest of my planning at all. I figure there's no harm in trying this out. Other than that, I added this cute lavender pen, which I've been using just because it matches my cover. It actually writes really well. It's just a ballpoint pen. Got it from Erin Condren years ago. I'm really only using it because it matches, but it actually writes really well too, so it works. I wouldn't put it in here if I actually couldn't write with it and stuff. So that's really all I did. I had all of these visions of a beautiful spring setup, and I kind of talked about that in my last video, and it didn't really work out the way I had envisioned, but I did add a little bit of spring vibe in here. This is mainly what I wanted to show you guys today. Basically this section right here, these new pieces that I added to my system. this little pouch, got it off Amazon, and then these new monthly and weekly booklets from Sterling Ink that I got. This makes me love my system even more because I feel like I'm just like honing it in and getting it more detailed and more specific to what I need and use. I also wanted to show some of these sticky notes that I got. I got all of these off of JetPens. I made a little JetPens order. I wanted a lot smaller sticky notes so I can fit them like within my weekly spread columns or in my monthly boxes. So I found all of these on JetPens. They're cute. Let me see. This is what the packaging looks like. It's all in Japanese, so I don't really know. But yeah, and I love these cute little bird ones. You write something on it, and then you're supposed to put it at the top of your page. And like the bird head and whatever you wrote sticks out of the top like that. This is what they look like. They also had like dogs, cats, I think they had seals. I almost got the dog ones because I'm a huge dog lover, but these ones just spoke to me. They were just very colorful and cute, kind of springy. So anyway, I was kind of more drawn to these ones than I was the dogs, but they have different options for these too. And they all have the little speech bubble and they stick out the top of your planner. I just thought these were so adorable. So yeah, I got these to add into my little sticky note dashboard here. Those are some new little things that I got as well. But other than that, that's all I've really added to my system. I just kind of wanted to share those little updates that I did in here. It makes me love my planner even more. I really have started bringing this around with me everywhere like it's a comfort blanket or a security blanket. And it feels just like comforting to have this around at all times. So I just carry this around with me everywhere I go. Even if I don't need to plan anything, you never know when you're gonna wanna write something down. I just love and I'm obsessed with this planner and this system. That is all for today, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.